Alright guys, quick video, and I need some advice on the hot side and the cold side plan for the Chevelle turbo build, okay? Alright, so in a previous video I talked about that this AC suitcase has to go in order for me to get room for a downpipe. So what I did is I bought the plate that deletes the AC but retains the blower motor for heat. So there it is right there, and you can see how this guy would, get rid of a lot of room there, obviously, okay? Now to install that AC delete thing, you gotta pull the inner wheel well because a lot of the bolts are up in there and whatnot, okay? But I was looking and it looks like I can sneak a downpipe around the suitcase and in between the wheel and go straight down to dump below the car. So what I did is I removed the spring and the shock and I put the wheel in full bump and locked it to the right. And this situation, I don't know when you'd ever go into that situation, full bump into the right. Usually it unloads the suspension, but in any case, I wanted to see if there was clearance, and it's, I can squeeze it between the suitcase and the wheel. I mean, it's really tight, but it's manageable. And then up here, I can just do a 45 right out of the turbo, and that would seem to work. I would have to trim the hell out of the wheel well, but that certainly is a possibility. And if I can pull that off, man, that would be pretty sweet, because I could keep the stock AC thing. And I started to unbolt this guy. You can see that it's loose. So there's even more clearance if I kind of move that guy around. So I'm thinking I can freaking do it, man. And obviously I would have to wrap it because there'd be a lot of heat coming off that sucker, but I totally think I can do that. Okay, let's talk about the next problem. So I have the driver's side manifold. This is an F-body manifold and it fits mint. Now what I need to do is do a crossover tube from this manifold to that manifold, okay, to feed the turbo. So let me go underneath the car here. Okay, this is kind of hard to see, but on that jack stand there I have a 2 1/4 pipe which represents the run underneath the transmission, and I'm feeling this is a bit low. It's about 1 3/4 under the cross member, under the oil pan, as high as it can go in the trans here. So I'm just wondering, this car is pretty low, and the exhaust is going to be pretty low as a result due to that crossover. So not only is the downpipe really tight around the suitcase, I got the crossover here. Obviously speed bumps are going to be out of the question. I'm not going to be, flying over speed bumps or anything. And this is all based off of a PVC drive shaft that I have built and set my driveline angles. And everything looks good there. So the engine and trans are at the correct orientation for driveline angles and clearances and all that. That looks pretty good. So this is kind of what I'm up against. And then lastly, I was thinking of putting the intercooler right here and then the radiator. Okay, so I would build some brackets to do all that, because otherwise you got to put the intercooler up front here and you got to mess around with the hinge and all that stuff. And then usually you can see it from the front. So if I can hide all that stuff over here, man, I think that would be pretty cool. It'd be more sleeper look, right? More of a sleeper look, So issue number 1, should I send the downpipe over there? Number 2, should I do the intercooler, then the radiator, then the engine? And then lastly, what are your thoughts about this crossover? It's pretty low, man. Pretty low. I don't want to freaking hit it. So let me know what you think, what I should do. But that's kind of where I'm at right now.